Hello, everyone. Welcome. Here we go. Day 67, is it? 67, I believe. We are continuing the reading of Elsie Lincoln Benedict's book, How to Get Anything You Want. And we are continuing on. We left off on rule number 7. She had such good metaphors yesterday and great stories of people using this power of their subconscious mind and affirmations and preparing their mind for success. So if you missed any of the previous readings, hop on over to the YouTube if you're not already on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, hop on over to YouTube. There's a playlist, Elsie Lincoln Benedict's How to Get Anything You Want. I think it's How to Get Anything You Want by Elsie Lincoln Benedict. So we're reading this whole book together, going through the lessons. We're on lesson number 5. Prepare for what you want. And I am really enjoying this so far. We left off rule number 7. At first, you may feel some doubt or uncertainty. Little fear thoughts may come knocking at the door of your mind. When they do, you should gently but persistently turn them away. So she's talking about when you are going after a goal, when you are going after a desire of your heart, when you're trying to live the way you want to live. And there's little things when you make a decision for what you want in life, when you want to make a change. She says, at first, when you're starting to tell yourself it's a possibility, when you're affirming to yourself, when you're filling yourself with positive things that you can do it, she's saying that at first you may feel some doubt or uncertainty. These little fear thoughts may come knocking at the door of your mind, but when they do, you should gently but persistently turn them away. We talk a lot about boundaries, right? We all know what physical boundaries are. If you get up in my space, get out of my space, or I'm going to call the police, right? I mean, not that dramatic, but to be honest, it's like, wow, this is interesting. Yeah, we're still here, but I'm totally frozen. Let's try this again. Did you like that? What are you going to do? See, positive mental attitude. I just froze. So I hope that, anyways, let's moving on. So she's saying that when we are doubting ourselves, let me pick back up on this. Oh, boundaries, I was saying. If somebody comes in my space, an intruder, I will tell them to get out. I will be very vigilant and on top of it to remove that intruder. Okay, that's at my physical space because I don't know the intentions. It's not welcome. It was not invited, and it can be harmful, right? This intruder. Think about the same things for your mind, your thoughts, intrusive thoughts, pop-up thoughts, whether they be popping in from the outside world or ding dong popping up like little moles from your subconscious mind. However, thoughts, right? And I'm pointing to the head, just the brain rather. The brain is not the mind, but we use this example, right, to represent the mind. This big circle represents your mind. This bottom part represents the subconscious mind. And this top part represents the conscious thinking mind. We consciously think of things all day long, 60 to 100,000 thoughts a day, some estimate. But it's the thoughts in our subconscious mind that we're emotionally involved with. This is actually 95% of what runs the show and what's in charge and what dictates our life and our behavior and our results. This is only about 5%. We're only 5% consciously aware of what's really going on down in the dark dungeons of our, system programming. This is like the program operating room of our supercomputer. That is our mind, okay? So she's saying, well, I'm saying right now that if an intruder comes in through one of our 5 physical senses, we can see, hear, smell, taste, touch. That's what these little antennae represent, our 5 physical senses hooked up. And that's how we take in information from the outside world. And we're consciously aware of the thoughts we think about said stimuli, all right, or the circumstances. But thoughts can also come up from the subconscious mind, boop, boop, like little gophers popping up, emotions, feelings, things that we have, opinions on or whatever, intruders from the outside or the inside. Okay. But now they're in our conscious thinking mind. If it's something that is not welcome, especially does not feel good, is not necessary, is not helpful in any way in this moment, we should have boundaries. Just like an intruder in our physical space, an intruder in our mental space, out. Not today. Thank you for sharing. You shall not pass. You are not going to drop into my heart of hearts, my psyche, my subconscious mind. We can't control all the thoughts that pop in, but we can control what thoughts we get emotionally involved with. So we can't always control what thoughts enter our conscious thinking mind. but we can control what thoughts we allow into our subconscious emotional and feeling mind. Are we getting emotionally involved with it? Are we wrapping it with emotion? Are we letting it get under our skin, so to speak? All right. So have boundaries. So she's saying at first might have little thoughts knocking at the door, fear thoughts. They might want to come in and deter you. But she's saying be gentle but persistent in turning them away. I'm not interested. I don't want to subscribe to that newsletter. Okay. She says, if you do this, they will return less and less frequently and finally stay away altogether. On the other hand, if you will do this, better and more effective thoughts building toward what you want will come to your mind more and more often. So she's saying, if you do this, better and more effective thoughts building toward what you want, more positive, constructive thoughts rather than negative, destructive thoughts, it'll come to you. So it's like working out, it's like a muscle of the mind. Some of these will suggest ways of reducing your time of waiting and eventually point out shortcuts. Practice in constructive thinking builds toward the construction of whatever you are thinking about. All right. One of the big reasons why outsiders never see One of the big reasons why outsiders never can see just how one's good luck comes is that they cannot see the inner thought machinery going around. When you see successful people and you're like, why are they successful? How did she get there? How did he make that happen? You have no idea what's going on in their mind. It's the power of the subconscious mind. We have no idea. So one of the biggest reasons why we as outsiders can never see just how someone's good luck happens to them, it's because we can't see the inner thought machinery going around. Things move more rapidly for you the more diligently and the more intensely you think the right thoughts. Entertaining the wrong attitudes for a while can put you back, but you can always resume your forward progress by getting back on track and right thinking. So, yeah, we might fall off the wagon. We might have bad days, but make positive, constructive thinking and filling your mind with positive things the rule. You might have an exception of a bad day or a bad thought or whatever, a funk, but that is the exception to the rule. The rule is always positivity. The rule is always constructive thoughts that are building toward your desires. Unfortunately, before we learn this material, we are just by default programmed to always focus on the negative, the how it can never happen, all the reasons why it can't, destructive, negative thoughts that tear us down. That's the rule. And the exception is every now and then we'll have a really good day and be excited and go to maybe a weekend seminar. And that's the exception to the rule. No, I had to flip this. And it takes work. But what's the option? To remain angry, irritated, pissed off at the world that things aren't working out my way, right? Continuing to mess up and get results that I don't want. No, thank you. Ooh, that's no way to live. So even if you do get off track, you can always resume your forward progress by getting back on the track of thinking, right thinking. If you will stick to your good thoughts when the pull seems hard, you will always find that this was merely a stiff grade with a chance to coast for a long distance down the other side once you get to the top. So, what she's saying is if you stick with your good thoughts, even when the pull seems hard, you will always find that it was just like a really steep slope and it's going to give you a chance to coast right along down the distance on the other side once you get to the top. So the harder, the more steeper the grade, the easier the other side of it will be. And then it will continue, right? It's like there's always going to be different mountains to climb. Maybe this steep, right? But the way down will be easier depending on the grade or the slope, right? Rule number 8, don't be content with going through the motions. As a man thinketh in his heart is the vital thing, not what he does with his hands or tongue or pretenses. This is so important. Don't be content with just going through the motions. I talked about this when we were in the previous chapters on writing our affirmations. Bob Proctor taught me how to, change my paradigm, write my affirmations, but I hated writing them. I felt like it was like doing sentences as like a punishment. I was like, oh God. I was like, but Bob does it. It works for him. Why can't I do it? And it's like, I don't like to do that. I like to listen. I'm an auditory learner. I love to recite my affirmations and listen to them over and over. And so I was just going through the motions. I was just writing them down before I realized I didn't want to do that. And I could do it differently, right? I could do it my way just because it works for him. Maybe it doesn't work for me. That's why I say you are the expert of your own life. Anything I say, if it doesn't resonate, throw it out the window. You are the expert of your own life. And that goes for anybody you listen to, right? Anybody we all listen to. Yes, take information that's helpful. Somebody who's been, a couple miles ahead of you can reach back and give you some information. But at the end of the day, if it doesn't resonate with you, throw it out. It's not a big deal. You don't got to argue with it. Doesn't mean they're wrong because clearly it worked for them. But maybe your way's different, right? We don't have to make other people wrong for us to be right. Our way is the right way for us, especially if it feels good. Just because someone else does it different doesn't mean it's wrong. It's just their way of doing it. And that's a big thing, especially, I mean, in all of humanity. When we figure something out, no matter what sector it's in, if it's love and relationships, money and finances, business, finding your purpose and calling, health, diet, hello. I think the biggest area of opportunity is when we find something that works for us. We want to share it with the world. That's beautiful. It can help a lot of people, but don't come at it in a way that this is the right way and think that everyone else is ding dongs. Like, I love me some David Goggins. I love Jocko Willinks or whatever his name is. But I feel like maybe not David Goggins, but some of these hardcore like rah rah rah, you gotta suffer like type of things. Like, yeah, I can get on that sometimes. When I'm in the mood for it, but they truly think that any easier, softer way is like it just doesn't work. And the truth is, it just didn't work for them. It works for other people. It's like think about Eckhart Tolle. He's doing just fine. He's had an awakening. He's at peace. He teaches. He's great. He doesn't really live that hard lifestyle, right? To be happy or be at peace or feel accomplished. So it's different for everyone. Know what's right for you. I don't know what got me on that. Oh, as a man thinketh in his heart. So don't just be content going through the motions. Okay. Don't just do something because someone else says to do it. Does it resonate with you? As a man thinketh in his heart. So, as a man thinketh in his heart, the thoughts he puts in his heart, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. This is truly what that means, is the vital thing. Not what he does, not his actions. Okay. So, as a man thinketh in his heart, as a man feels, as a man vibrates, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. His results. By their fruits, you'll know them. Okay. So, not what he does, not how he acts, not his results, not his thoughts, but what he thinks in his heart will determine his life. All right. The quality of his life. All right. All right. So, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he, is the vital thing. Do not what he does or says or the pretenses that he puts up, right? People are talk, 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 talk. You know? There's always those memes of people who like say, I want change and I want to change. Like there's two people outside of the window of change and a million people in line of I want to change or something. This is not for the faint of heart. You know what? Today we had at the Napoleon Hill Institute, our weekly mentorship call. So we have a weekly 90-minute Tuesday mentorship call, and Dr. Joe Vitale, who's the president of the Napoleon Hill Institute, was on today, and we had a Q&A. I got to host it. It was amazing. And we were just talking about the importance of bringing the roots, the negative programming, the virus code, these fearful, critical thoughts that stand in our way. Dr. Joe calls them counter intentions. We have great intentions. We have big dreams, but we have hidden counter intentions. We have hidden counter intentions in our subconscious mind. We're not aware of these. We're not consciously aware of what's going on in our subconscious mind. That's why it's called subconscious. It is out of our conscious awareness. It's like the iceberg. We can only see what's above the water. We do not know what's going down in the dark dungeons, but how we become aware of what's going on in the subconscious dark dungeons um, is by the way we feel. And by doing that work, by bringing that darkness, by uprooting, weeding. Have you ever had to weed? If you had like a backyard and your parents had you, do your chores, like go pull the weeds. It's like, oh, I don't want to pull the weeds. I want to go smell the roses, right? But we can't have any roses or nice things unless we get rid of all of the negativity in the weeds. Same with us. And so Dr. Joe was talking about the importance of, or not, I mean, well, the importance of a lot of things, but how this work, personal development, spiritual development, even, and it's not all created equal, how people think it's woo woo, and it is to some point, but like that it's silly or easy or some sort of positive, happy face sticker. What do they call it? Toxic positivity, bypassing crap. And yes, all of that's out there. But when you really do that work, it's not cute. It's not. It's like equivalent to people who are in the health and wellness industry who take the easy way outs and the hacks and the pills and the injectables, which can help people. I'm not saying, but when people just want the fast track pill and um, hack it or whatever, which is not healthy and sustainable. And then the people that actually go to the gym every day and eat healthy. It's like that's the difference. And it's in all industries. So in the personal development industry, at least the one I work in and how I operate and what has helped me, because I've been a part of all kinds of things, is taking that deep dive and that deep look within. And it can be very, very uncomfortable and painful at times, but it's the most rewarding. It's just like what she said. The steeper, the scarier the climb, the better the other side, or the easier it'll make your life. And so would we rather numb a little bit and go through life not feeling the fullness? Or would we go straight head into that storm, to the darkness, to get to the light? Right? I love these metaphors. So she's saying, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he, not what he says or does. It's what you feel to be true, what you believe. Intensity is the dynamo, which opens new paths toward what you want. The distance you travel and the rate of speed you make depends on your degree of intensity. In other words, it is you and your great God-given forces that create your world and the things that happen to you. If you are not making your preparations with sincerity, you are like an electric light bulb when the power is turned off. All the mechanisms there, but no light. Wow. Let's read that again. So intensity is the dynamo, intensity of emotion and feeling, which opens new paths toward what you want. The distance you travel and the rate of speed you make depends on your degree of intensity. That's what Napoleon Hill talks about, a burning desire. Do you have a white, hot, burning desire? What's going to get you there? It's like, oh, Carla, well, yeah, I want that new apartment, but calm down. It's not a matter of life and death. It's like, well, what if you made it a matter of life and death? What are you waiting for? Who knows if you're going to be here next week? Like, seriously. I really dream about going to Italy, but like one day I'll go. Why don't you make it into a white, hot, burning desire and get serious about it? You can go in 2 months. Oh, that couldn't happen, right? What's stopping you? Who knows? Once you have this degree of intensity and you get it whipped up to a hot, white, burning desire, it's going to speed everything up. But why don't we do that? Kobe Bryant talks a lot about that. Um, Michael Jordan talks a lot about that. Other people didn't take the game as seriously as they did. And they didn't like to be around those people, and everyone thought they were nuts. That's exactly what she's telling us to do. Be intense, be a beast, be insane, have an obsession for it. Tim Grover. I love Tim Grover. I have such a crush on Tim Grover. I love him. But I like how I think he trained both of them, right? Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. Anyways, side note. Okay. So, anyways, the way that they talk about you have to be serious about it, have a burning desire. Okay. In other words, it is you and your great God-given forces that create your world and the things that happen to you. You and your great God-given forces that create your world and the things that happen to you. It is you and your great given God-given forces that create your world and the things that happen to you. If you are not making your preparations with sincerity, you are like an electric light bulb. When the power is turned off, all the mechanisms there, but no light. It's like having a beautiful McLaren, Porsche, Maserati, whatever your car is, Bentley, I don't care, Mustang convertible. And you got it all. And you ain't got no gas. You ain't got no fire. It's like, what if we were all freezing cold and we walked up to this beautiful mansion and it had the biggest, most beautiful fireplace and it didn't work? It's like having the thing and there's no life in it. Like this phone, if it was not powered on and connected, could be a paperweight or a brick or a weapon, right? This is, I don't know, a half a pound. I don't know how much these weigh. This could be a paperweight, but it's actually a computer because when it's plugged in, it has the power to run an entire business and connect me with anyone all over the world. So if my sincerity and my spirit, my energy isn't there, it's as good as this phone that's not connected and plugged in to the Wi-Fi signals, right? To the towers. Isn't that wild? Very little effort when accompanied by a lot of the right spirit. Very little effort. Very little effort. Very little effort. When accompanied by a lot of the right spirit, often accomplishes wonders. More effort combined with more and deeper sincerity can also do the impossible. It is their inability to see this inner voltage which makes others think our achievements accidental. The same blindness to inner conditions also make it hard to explain to them why the rushing, hurry, busy person as well as idle pessimist often fails. Okay. So the same blindness to inner conditions also makes it hard to explain to them why the rushing, hurrying, busy person as well as the idle pessimist often fails. Don't mistake busyness for business. Much of the business of succeeding is done after the doors are closed at night and before they open in the morning. That is the truth. All right, y'all, I still have to go on my run for the day. It's earlier. I'm doing this earlier. I'm gonna try to do this earlier. I say that all the time, but you know what? Repetition is key, y'all. Auto-suggesting to myself. I would love to do this first thing in the morning. I used to do it first thing in the morning at like 7 o'clock before I went to work. See if I could do that again. Anyways, I have a lot of new things that are rolling out this week. I'm so excited. I can't wait to announce them. But if you want any more information about how to work with me, look at the description box below on the YouTube videos. And I appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Leave your comments, anything else, any ideas, any thoughts, any questions, and let me know how this is going for you. I really like this lesson so far. I might say it's one of my faves. The first one, your predominant moods make your life, but prepare for what you want. I am really loving this. These stories, these metaphors. Again, if you missed any of the previous readings, there is a playlist, How to Get Anything You Want by Elsie Lincoln Benedict on the YouTubes, along with many other playlists. I have an epic library that'll keep you busy, okay? So I will see you mañana. Have a beautiful day, a beautiful evening, and happy March, y'all. Spring is coming. I'm excited.